Why did I become a photographer? To avoid having a proper job, I think. I'd taken a picture of Diana Ross at the BBC, and I dropped one off to the Melody Maker. As one of the journalists was there, he said, "Hey, old boy, why don't you just drop off a picture of the Melody Maker? We can always use a snap or two." The next week I was walking around my local neighbourhood in Soho, and I saw that Diana Ross picture on the front page of Melody Maker, and I was thrown into this crazy world of musicians and music, and it started from that.
People try to put us to down, talking about my generation, just because we get around, talking about my generation, things they do look awful, talking about my generation, I hope I die before I get old, talking about my generation, this is my generation, baby, why don't you all fade away?
They gave us ultimate freedom on the paper to go out and discover artists, photograph them, write about anybody we thought was good. And that's how Genesis, Joe Cocker, Elton John, and a load of characters got on the front page or articles in the paper.
The paper was always going on the latest news, and I don't know if Barry knows how many times I was on the front page symbolising yes, and that was a great honour. Not only did I have like a dress on and stuff like this, it looked pretty outrageous, tassels hanging down, you know, from this. I had trousers on, by the way, but I used to find that you needed something to wear that looked exciting.
Photography was something which hadn't really been done in rock and roll. Whatever that little frame is that moment stands out from the others. Oh, that's the one. Everything sort of comes together. That's what Cartier-Bresson said. He said he just stood there and just watched, and gradually things had moved to click. He got it. It was just new. It was like Zen in the art of photography. You were just the vehicle for all that to come through, because you weren't thinking about it. And like people like Hendrix and a lot of other characters told me that when they were playing. And we just got lost in it. I don't know whether the guitar was playing me, I was playing the guitar. We were trying to make music happen and help these people get it and get record contracts, which we did somehow, because when the Beatles got signed by George Martin, they'd been turned down by everybody else. The first album came out and it actually started to make money, and Decca Records, Pi Records and all that freaked out. You know, so they signed everybody, which was fantastic. That's why you've got all those albums of different people, and everybody was different. The Melody Maker had been going since 1928 as a professional musician's paper. They finally gave in and put the Beatles on the front page, which was half the staff, I think, resigned. Well, that's not really music, you know. But then it took on from then, and I joined at a point where it had been rejigged, reformatted, and they were starting to use photographs, which was wonderful. And we were the first paper really to be doing that alongside the interview.
New Musical Express and Melody Maker are embarrassingly naive names, but they held terrific sway back in the 70s. 60s too, really, 60s and 70s. If you wanted to know what was going on, that's what you got.
It was a totally organic and spontaneous movement of youth culture which didn't exist before. We rebelled against the values of the system, I guess, and thought we're going to be teenagers for a little point and try and do the best we can. You know, we want to change the world, and how do we do that? Oh, let's make music. This was a old-fashioned system with real film. The good thing about that is now I still have the original negatives of those things I shot 30, 40 years ago. If I'd have been using digital cameras then, I think there wouldn't be as many pictures. There would have been a lot of editing. But as we didn't edit, you couldn't. I kept it all, and now it's like, hey, interesting to, look through a sheet of Chuck Berry contacts, because that's real, and you got that. But I mean, digitally, I would only pick one, erase the others, and then I would have lost all that stuff. This is a real photograph. It has real emulsion and little silver halides which turn black when you shine light on them. It's the opposite of film. The light shines in the darkroom on a piece of paper, and the picture comes up from within like magic. It appears out of nowhere. I'm trying to remember this photo shoot. Oh yeah, it's Pete Townsend in Victoria. He lived just at this point just opposite Victoria Coach Station, where the Magic bus left from, and I asked him to stand by this window. He's shooting with a 28mm lens, ridiculous. I'm sorry his nose got so big, but it just seemed to be that. And as we were shooting this, he was talking about this idea he had for a rock opera about a deaf, dumb and blind kid, and I'm going, that sounds interesting, very cheery, Pete. I can't ever see that being a hit somehow, but I didn't say anything, and who knows later, Tommy is whatever. Incredibly deep chap there. I don't know how it happened, but it happened, and it just happened to be coincidental at an amazing time when things were starting up, and 10 years of that was a fun party, You should have been there, it was great.